Hi everyone, David Schwartzberg here. We're learning the Sefer Shomer Emunim. We are up to Perek Ches. The last two parakim, the Shomer Emunim was discussing levels in Emunah, levels in Bitachon. While discussing the levels in Bitachon, he brought down Gam Zu L'Tova, Rachmano, and we know that when a person goes through hardships, yissurim, so he starts thinking about Kol Ma'adav Rachmano Tavavid or Gam Zu L'Tova. So on this inyan of yissurim and Gam Zu L'Tova and Kol Ma'adav Rachmano, we start Perek Ches. And again, the first 5 paragraphs he's going to be talking about levels. So he starts, V'im tishaleni achi. And if you'll ask, that the Sefer here is to anyone, to everyone, and how could a simple person like myself grab onto this middah of Gam Zu L'Tova, of thinking that everything that Hashem does, even though it looks like it's something bad, but it itself is really good? How can somebody come to that middah? And to explain this will take a long time. I don't have time for that. I'll explain it in short and quick. The Torah writes, it writes about Moshe Rabbeinu that he was the most humble of anyone in the world. The way the pasuk writes it, it sounds like Hashem is saying that nobody in any generation, forever to come, can reach this madrega that Moshe Rabbeinu had, that he was an anav mikol adam. Maybe someone else wants to also be like Moshe Rabbeinu and be mevatel himself to every creature. And you find many tzaddikim that reached the tachlis habitl. Why are we making away with them for no reason? But no, my brother, that if Hashem chose someone to give us His Torah, that He would be befitting to be the best choice of someone from any Indian, any topic, any middah, any character trait. Kol hanaviyim ubalei ruach hakodesh madregas hanaviyas madregas ruach hakodesh shalahem, that all naviyim and all those that had ruach hakodesh on their level, v'yesa balei madregas v'chem v'chol inyanim mischalek riboy rivon madregas bli share. It's split up into tens of thousands of madregas with no share. Hakol lefi erech his dachos hazuamo, all based on how clean the person is from the zuamo. Shor aleim ruach hakdusha. So based on how clean he was, that's how much ruach hakodesh he had. There were some tzaddikim that the or Shechinah did not leave them for most of the day. And then those for a half a day they had the Shechinah, and those for only an hour. There were levels. And so too with the inyan of being mevatel yourself. Hagam shayu tzaddikim shayu gam came b'chalalas bittul gomer. Even though there were tzaddikim that were totally mevatel themselves, alva Moshe Rabbeinu v'chol inyanim hein madregas devekis v'li hefsek. Moshe Rabbeinu was on a madrega of devekis with no breaks. Hein b'nevuah shayu meshchina medaberes mizach groinai. Both on the nevuah side, where we know that the Shechinah Kiviyachol spoke from Moshe Rabbeinu's mouth, from his throat, and also on the side of Bittul and Anava, Moshe Rabbeinu had these madregas always with no preparation needed, and it never left him. But not so the Nevi'im of the Nevi'im Shekamosh Kosav like Cain Avdi Moshe, as it says about Moshe Rabbeinu, that Moshe Rabbeinu is not the same. Peh al peh adaber boy, I speak to him mouth to mouth. Umarev lebechinos, that I appear to him plainly without any riddles. Utmunas Hashem yabit, and he sees the likeness of Hashem. Begomer kasher koch yos api seichel shitinos and terisin hakdosh alidei muvcha anoish mikol amaylos v'amidas and hagos. And it is such befitting that the Torah Hakadosh will be given with the choicest of people, someone that's the best in all milas and midas and hagas. She'iyah betachlis hetachos hachomer, that he has reached the tachlis of cleansing himself from all chomer. Asher nikra ish alekim, as it says in Parshas V'zois HaBracha, Asher berach Moshe ish alekim es bnei Yisrael lefnei Moshe, that Moshe Rabbeinu is referred to as ish alekim. Kochok kvar kesavti, so I already wrote, Shemidas Bitachon mascheles madrega yoina, that Bitachon starts on a high madrega, Bechinos chachma, and Bechin of chachma. Umistayemes a Bechinos haraglayim, and it goes all the way down to the Bechin of the feet. Shenemar, as it says in Sefer Shomer, Ragli Chasidav Yishmar, Hashem guards the steps of the faithful. But in our terms here, we're understanding it as Ragli Chasidav, someone that's at the bottom, the feet of Chasidav. Yishmar, Hashem will guard him. Shafilu Rasha Yochel Evtech Hashem, that even a Rasha can trust in Hashem, K'moish Amr Chazal, in the Yalkut Tehillim. Hafilu Rasha Obeitech Hashem, Chesed Yisayvenu, even a Rasha that trusts in Hashem, Chesed will surround him, V'havin Zeh. V'hinei. So until now we were talking about levels, and now he's going to segue into Gam Zu L'Tova. V'hinei be'inyan Gam Zu L'Tova. Yesh Shnei Bechinos. Bechinos hamadrega hagavoyahu. There's a high level of Gam Zu L'Tova. Shemeroi v'havas Shechinah hachokuk b'kirboi. Out of his love of Hashem, of the Shechinah, that's engraved inside of him. Samech im yissurim and nisyonos. He's happy with his suffering and whatever challenges he has to go through. V'hu l'mashal, and for example, a mashal bein chavav Hashem mekusha b'havas imoi ad l'tachlis shenafshik shum b'nafsho. A son who loves his mother to the point where his nefesh is tied with her nafsho. V'achakach al pi sibo nishbo imoi v'nimshro l'halkaisoi, until the extent where once his mother was captured and given over to be hit. Umeroiv mirirus habein she'ena yochel lisbol sar imoi, and his son, knowing and seeing that his mother is going to be given lashes, whatever, he was so bitter about it, he couldn't be soivel, the tzar of his mother. He asked from the judge, from the tormentor, that he should be hit instead of his mother. Out of his happiness that he is getting hit instead of his mother, he doesn't even feel the lashes that he's being given. He's not suffering. He's happy that his mother doesn't have to get hit instead. And so too exactly it is, even more so. When we take on the tzar of Hashem out of love of Hashem, when we think about the tzar that Hashem has to go through, because we know even when the Rasha is b'tzar in this world, Shechinah ma'an meres, what does the Shechinah say? That my head feels light, meaning I can't bear it. So for sure, the tzar of the tzadikim, and all the more so with the tzar of Klal Yisrael, and all the more so the tzar that a person himself caused. And he caused more tzar to Hashem, to the Shechinah. When a person thinks about all this, with all suffering, even a little bit that he has to go through, then it lightens, share with no share, tzar Shechinah Kedosha, the tzar that Hashem has to go through. Middah V'Ramezes LaHashem Achrena Shabashem K'mevor B'Sifrei Chachma, which means the name of Hashem is Hashem Havaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei. The letter Yud represents Chachma. The letter Hey, the first Hey represents Bina. The Vav represents Tiferes and the 6 spheres that are included in it. And the last Hey represents Malchus. Malchus represents this world, the Eretz Hagashmi, which is called Malchus, where in this world it's hidden and covered the sparks and the light of Hashem. That's why it's called Shechinah, because the light of Hashem is Shechinah, is resting in every place in this world. And therefore, when a person is given over suffering, even a little bit of suffering, he knows that the Shechinah is resting there. And when he knows and he thinks this lightens the tzar of Hashem. And then the tzar that he's going through doesn't feel like tzar. And just the opposite. He's happy with his suffering. And he attaches himself to the middah that the tzaddikim had. And the middah that tzaddikim still have. And through this, let it be seized, all the sitchin bishin, all the evil forces, with pain and suffering. The yetzer hara b'dvil yodeh mishtalim, and the yetzer hara, his hand is turned back on him. How is that? Because bezeh shirotza letzar lezeh hatzadik. This that the yetzer hara want to be mitzar the tzaddik, ulanat koi makdusha, and disconnect him from kedusha. He caused, in fact, shashuin entertainment for the king, kiviyachal. Because everything turned around l'toiva v'levracha. And through this came a Yeshua for the whole world. Like it gets written in the Gemara Tainis, the Amr of Yeshua ben Levi, love anyone that's happy with the yissurim that he gets. Maybe Yeshua la'olam brings the Yeshua to the world Attain. So until now, Elav. We spoke about the Bechinos of Mimenu Elav, from him to him, which is from the son to the mother, from us to Hashem. We're lightening the pain of Hashem. Now we're going to talk about between himself to himself. Let's give a mashal. Someone that has a toothache, he wants to fix it. There are 2 Bechinos. One is and someone that has a toothache, he has a cavity, and the dentist wants to fill the cavity. By fixing it, he's causing the person tzar. But the tzar is good for him. But through the pain, his tooth will heal, and he'll have a strong tooth, and it's better for him, for his body. That's one bechina. Shenis, a second bechina is mash'en keinim shein echad. If let's say his tooth is ruined and therefore it's ruining the other teeth, and if he doesn't fix his tooth quickly, it's going to ruin the other teeth, and he's going to have pain in all his teeth. By removing this tooth or fixing the tooth, it's not for the purpose of the tooth itself, but rather it's for the other teeth. He has to remove this tooth in order that the other teeth don't get ruined. He's not going to feel the pain because he knows it's to fix the other teeth. And the dentist, that he understands if he doesn't do this work, it's going to ruin the other teeth. It's going to ruin all the teeth. He doesn't sort of care that this person has to suffer. He'll do it a few times if he has to, in order to save all the teeth of this patient. So too, if a person is doing averis before Hashem, we know that one aver leads to another aver, and it just intensifies, it gets worse. And through time, he's going to end up doing more chatam, greater chatam. And he will be liable for gilgulim, going into another gilgul, and punishments. Chas v'shalom. Oz berachmi Hashem al ve'adam. To the mercy of Hashem on this person, shalech la yissurim lenakoisim izamosai. He sends him yissurim to cleanse him and to remove him from this zuamol. Kedei she'itin adam aliba yoshul Hashem, so that a person should think about what's going on. Why is Hashem doing this? And through that he returns to Hashem. Ve'im shova Hashem, and if he returns to Hashem, umekabel dina shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'havo, and he accepts what happened with love, umatzdik alav es adin, and he's matzdik the din, then Hashem forgives him, and Hashem brings him into the gvul of kedusha. And sometimes, based on how Hashem sees fit, Hashem will not listen to the person's cries right away. He'll let him suffer. Because this little tzar is in order to save this person from a greater tzar. Then the purpose of these yissurim is is in order to save him from yissurim in olam haza or in olam haba, which will be greater suffering. So far we spoke about if the yissurim are for the other teeth, but if the yissurim is to save him from that tooth, to heal that tooth itself, for himself, in order to cleanse the person from all impurity, so that he should be tzar before Hashem. That the reason why Hashem is giving him these yissurim is so that he can receive the light of the Torah and the light of avodah, which is not acquired only through yissurim. Three presents Hashem gave to Yisrael, and they're only given through yissurim. And they are Torah, Eretz Yisrael, Olam Habo, Attain. If so, that yissurim itself has a purpose. Like fixing the tooth. The tachlis Hashem Atzmo is for the purpose of the tooth itself. And not to save other teeth. In such a situation, a person has a choice to pater himself from yissurim. Like it's written in the Gemara Brachas, where Reb Chia bar Abba was sick. And another Amoy, Rabbi Yochanan, asked him, are these yissurim dear to you? Meaning, are you being kabel these yissurim b'hava, and therefore you have simcha? And he responded, loy hein, loy schar. I don't want the yissurim. I don't want the schar for being kabel yissurim b'hava, because it was taking him away from Torah. The Mefarshim explained there. V'havin hadvarim. V'hine habachina haktanahu. This small bechina, kamay lamoshel eitzal shinaim shatachles hu b'shvil tikkun yeseshinav, where he's doing work on the tooth in order to save him from the other teeth, in order the other teeth shouldn't get ruined. That the yissurim, the little yissurim that he's getting, is in order to save him from greater yissurim that he might get. This is the Bechina of Kamad Da'avid Rachmana Tavavid. Why? Because he believes that through these yissurim, which are bad, good will come out from it. That is what Kamad Da'avid Rachmana Tavavid, that what's happening now is not supposed to happen, it's really bad, but if he accepts it and he knows that Hashem is giving it to him, then good will come out from it. And that's the small Bechina. But the second Bechina, Shayisurim heima lahar nafshu lesaknoi, in order to enlighten his nefesh and to fix his nefesh, shehu k'maytikn Hashem be'etzem, like fixing the tooth itself. Zuhi bechinas Gam Zu L'Tova, that's a higher bechina, that's bechina of Gam Zu L'Tova. This itself is good. Aval, eich shayach etzel ish hamoini karkenu, Gam Za bechina, shel Gam Zu L'Tova. But how could someone like ourselves reach and get this bechina of Gam Zu L'Tova? So he explains, V'hine yesh bezeh shnei bechinas ba'ofen kabbalas yissurim. There are two bechinas in accepting yissurim. Aleph, ki ha'adam b'feigmai al yedei chatav, that a person, by being paigim himself through his chatav, gorim tzar upkam benafshay, he caused tzar and a pagam in his nefesh. Ad sheyitzarech ba'al korchei achakach leizdachik. Then afterwards, he has to cleanse himself. Oy b'yisur elam hazeh, through suffering in this world, oy b'yisur gehenim, or through going through gehenim, oy b'gagulm chas v'shalom, or going into another body, another gilgul. Zehu prat echad, this is one prat. Beis, aval oy deisim ha'koiv hu, more than this pain, sha'odam b'chetay goyim v'zeh tzar Shechinah, he caused tzar to Hashem, to the Shechinah. U'pegam ba'oyer shal malo, and a pegam in the lights of shal malo, u'dchias neshamos, and pushing away of neshamos, v'tzar ha'malachim, v'goyim ha'ma'otois, ha'shefa v'chol ha'lamais, and he caused the shefa to be minimized from all the worlds. Uksha yesh lo yissurim chas v'shal. And when a person has suffering, and he thinks in his mind, hagam ki yissurim heima latzolas nafshay, that even though these yissurim are in order to save his nefesh, v'tzorich like kablam bahava ma'unas Hashem, and he needs to accept it with love and believing in Hashem, shurak hateva meitiv, because Hashem is hateva meitiv, and therefore this is for the best. And no bad comes out from Hashem. And all the more so, the fact that he caused tzar to Hashem and to all the alamois. Again, this is all that a person is thinking about. And he's saying this in his mind. I can make away with this tova that Hashem is giving me, that He's saving me from a greater tzar. And I'm thinking that that more than saving myself through these yissurim, I am lightening the tzar of the Shechinah. And sometimes a person doesn't even wait till he receives yissurim. He accepts upon himself suffering so that he lightens the tzar of the Shechinah. Like a child that's asking, hit me instead of the mother. I want to take it on. I don't want the mother to suffer. Then it's not just that good will come out from these yissurim. Rather, it's in the Bechina of Gam Zu L'Tova, sheme'etzem ha'yissurim nasim oiris kedolos b'shtatva im hashchina. Great light comes out from this yissurim by partnering up with the Shechinah. Oz nis'alu elu ha'yissurim berum mailos al yoinais. Then these yissurim go up to very high mailos. Im kain afilu legabe ish pashut. Even a simple person like ourselves, when he just puts his mind in the right frame, he can also be befitting for the Bechina of Gam Zu L'Tova. And indeed, we have come to understand the inyan HaBitachon ma'Bechina shel Gam Zu L'Tova, asher b'haloshen Atzmo shel Gam Zu L'Tova. That in the words Gam Zu L'Tova, Bechinos, it explains the Bechina that we've been talking about. Ki gam, because the word gam, noisav al inyan kadam. When somebody says also, it means it's adding on to what was said before. Upeyushay, meaning, ki loy rak sheyitzmach mizeh tova. Not only will good come out from this, rak gam zu be'etzem, that also this itself, hu tova gedayla, is a great tova. Whereas the inyan of Komad Da'avar Rachmana Tava Perushoi Sheyitzmach Mizeh Inyan Tova Achakach, that good will come out from it. But the Shechinah, the middah of Gam Zu L'Tova, that's a high madrega where it itself is good because he's lightening the tzar of Hashem.